Space, the final frontier. These are the passengers of the. Oh, sorry, wrong show, wrong show. Welcome to Wrestling with the Paranormal. I am the Enlightened One. Let's find out what's on the show today.
You have reached the Magician's Assistant. If this is the Enlightened One, today's episode is... Sam The Sandown Clown.
Sam the Sandown Clown. I'm getting the hell out of here.
So I take it that the Enlightened One doesn't like clowns?
I think there's something about this Sandown Clown, Sam the Sandown Clown, that scares the shit out of the Enlightened One. Something that scares him.
We'll get into the main event for that, so that's kind of interesting. So
let's talk about the Sandown Clown for a second here now.
Okay.
He's scary as hell.
He is. It's probably one of the most creepiest stories I've ever come across, which we're going to talk about later on. Wow, I mean, how creepy is it though?
Yeah, so is it a ghost? Is it an alien, or is it something else altogether?
Or is it both?
Possibly. What else do we have on the show today?
Well, of course, we have some very special things in the vault. We obviously are going to travel around the effing galaxy. And of course, we've got something in the Magician's Corner. And also, I've just been told by the interns, we've got somebody backstage.
Oh, it is Justin, the janitor, Marcesini. Welcome.
Goodbye.
I'm glad that you could take a moment away from cleaning those toilets to be on the show with us today. Oh my goodness! Welcome, Justin. Welcome. How you
doing? Good.
He's also known. He has another name, Lathatron 5000, right?
He is version 2.
Version 2. Yeah. I'm better than the first version. So yeah.
So we're gonna start off by going into the vault. All right. Do you know about the vault? So let's hit the intro. It looks like it's time to open up the vault.
Do you know the combination? So I know the combination. Canada Dry knows the combination, but does Justin know the combination?
Do you know the combination, Justin? All right. Nope. Do you want to tell him, Liam?
It is, of course, and you've got to be very, very careful because next time you come on, we're going to ask you. It's Bosco.
Bosco.
Okay.
You see if you can remember that. Now that's a chocolatey drink that we stole that from George Costanza off Seinfeld. That is his PIN number.
Oh.
For his bank account.
Shall we ask him at the end of the show, see if he remembers?
I think we will. We'll ask him later on to see if he remembers what it is.
Of course. So this is a part of the show where we take a deep dive into our vault. We've always got something, I want to say unique. I probably that's probably the correct word. So what's in the vault this week?
All right. So we got a few videos, two videos to be specific. So let me reach in. Oh, what the hell is that? It's wet. I don't know. All right. Hold on. There we go. All right, so here we go. This guy's flying an airplane, and watch what just flies. Watch. Looks like a UFO that flies right by him.
What the hell?
What's gonna play again?
Like...
Lights up. It looks very disc-like.
Looks like that is definitely. I won't say it's like a disc. It's like a weird shape type thing, but I'm definitely like seeing spacecraft.
Yeah, it looks like the most like very very most like prominent UFO sightings that I've ever seen.
Yeah, what do you reckon, Justin?
Yeah, it's very interesting. I can say that right now. I've never seen that before, so definitely interesting.
So if they abducted you and they wanted to probe you, would you let them?
No.
No, of course not. That was a silly question. Silly question. All right, let's reach in. Let's reach into the vault. Oh, money! I found some more money. Is this yours? It's British.
Oh, it's mine then. Yeah, thank you.
All right, here you go. There you go. Play the video. There we go. Okay, so this one's interesting because this guy was he was at a paranormal ghost hunt, and for some reason, the ghost followed him throughout the week. Now watch the shopping cart.
What the?
Begins to turn on its own
Mm-hmm.
and follows him to the car and smashes into the car, avoids this other car, moves over just a little bit, and hits his car and causes a lot of damage.
The weird thing is about that is I immediately thought the wind, but it's just so specifically going to that car.
Yeah, like it was originally going through the other car, then it just adjusts to go to the right car.
Maybe I forgot it's shopping.
Yeah, the guy who was doing the ghost hunting believes that the ghost followed him from the ghost hunt, and believes it's a little boy who's playing pranks on him.
Could be. Justin, what do you reckon?
Maybe it's something inside that shopping cart that really hates the guy or something.
Maybe he bought the wrong thing.
Cause here's the thing, it just went for his car, right? And it didn't go for any other car. So I'm thinking like if it just went for his car, maybe it has like a vendetta against him or something.
Well, he did go for the ghost hunt, and maybe he said something the wrong thing when he was at the ghost hunt.
Yeah.
Now, Justin, have you ever seen a ghost before?
Not really, no.
You've never seen nothing paranormal. So this is like, do you watch the paranormal shows?
On replays, yes, if I don't see it live.
No, not this show. I mean, like, do you watch any of those weird, crazy ghost shows?
No, absolutely
No,
no.
you stay away from it. All right.
I thought you were talking about this show because I.
Oh yeah, I know you watch. You're a faithful viewer. Thank you very much. But yeah, I guess that's any more comments on that, Liam?
No, we've only got 2 comments at the moment from new.
No, I meant from you.
Oh no, not at all. I mean, it's really creepy.
Well, it caused a lot of damage to his car. Like,
well, they can't exactly get him done, can he?
Yeah. All right. We had enough of the vault. Let's everyone get your seatbelts on, because we're gonna go all the way around the effing galaxy. And we're This is your captain speaking. If you look to your right out your window, you will see a big old garbage dump. It's almost touching the plane. Don't worry, we're going to fly right above that. We're good.
How do you feel now that you're actually the main pilot? You used to be the co-pilot.
Well, I don't mean to like take away any role from you. Like, you're good at flying, I know.
But you're better. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I'm good at this. I'm just speaking.
I do want to point out, since Joe is not here, I might as well give away peanuts then.
Oh, you can definitely be our flight attendant, but make sure that we have enough peanuts for later.
Yeah, of course. So this is obviously the part of the show where we take a deep dive into the wrestling world. We've literally traveled absolutely everywhere. So we've got 5 stories to go through. So All In, obviously, is coming to London. I'm going to try my best to absolutely get there, but we shall see. But Tony Khan put this, obviously, just short of an hour ago. Thanks to the amazing support from our fans, AEW All In London, Wembley Stadium has sold 60,000 tickets for $6.1 million, which is equivalent to $7.7 million. This is one of the greatest success stories in wrestling history. Wow, Canada Dry. I mean,
This is without one single match announced.
Mm-hmm.
No match has been announced. Like, you could put on a shitty card to say, sorry, you bought too bad.
Dear, but I mean, it's the first, obviously, show in the UK. I mean, I did say that it was going to be a big, massive thing, and 60,000 fans. I mean, as you mentioned now,
If
there's
they
no
sell
matches
no
now.
more tickets, they're still laughing.
There you go. There you go. So the question is, I mean, this is probably a big deal. I mean, for everybody, all around AEW, the UK audience, but there's no matches announced. I mean, that's the key one there. Would you agree?
Justin, what do you think about this?
I would probably say AEW All In is doing a lot better than what WWE Money in the Bank is doing probably in London, because Money in the Bank is coming to London July 1st. AEW is coming to London August 27th, and yeah, there's no matches announced. Like, we don't even know who MJF's opponent's going to be at Wembley Stadium. We don't know if we're going to have, like, the Outcast against somebody. So yeah, I give props to Tony Khan for selling out Wembley Stadium without even one match announced.
Well, prediction, Saraya will win the women's title at All In. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be Saraya versus Jamie Hayter, two obviously UK wrestlers in a match at Wembley. You can't really moan, but
And also, it gives Jamie Hayter a nice little run with the title. She gets it all summer pretty much, and then Saraya gets to finally be champion again.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. So let's see what Mr. Graham says. First off, I have been here the whole time. I was just driving, and second of all, Northern Mafia represent. Jesus Christ, really?
Cheese and rice.
Noob says, my question is, which wrestling promotion will be part of All Out, CMML, Stardom, Impact Wrestling, or NWA?
Well,
Canada?
I think they'll have mostly AEW wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll have the odd other promotion, but I don't think it'll be huge from that perspective, because why would you want to promote all these other things, right? So
yeah,
it's not going to be the same as the original All In.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Canada Dry up there. I think All Out is definitely gonna be all AEW wrestlers, but if they want to do like a promotion of if they want to do like a step in with other promotions, Forbidden Door is the perfect place for it.
Yeah, and I can't exactly remember when Forbidden Door is.
June 25th.
There you go. So maybe we might see more wrestlers like out on Forbidden Door, but
Well, you could also use Forbidden Door to set up another match at All In as well.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be some really interesting matches there, so I'm super excited for that. But yeah, we should definitely see. Like I said, 60,000 so far. There's still time. I think it's going to be a sellout. I mean, I did call that from start, so we shall definitely see. Next one I've got is now Canada Dry. You sent me this one, which I thought was really confusing. WWE World Heavyweight Championship Tournament starting Monday. 2 triple threat matches on Raw, with the winners facing each other later the same night to determine Raw's finalist. The same will be on SmackDown. The winner from Raw and SmackDown will face off at Night of Champions.
Okay, I gotta go. If it's okay, if I can go first on this, because I got something to say about this.
Oh, you're in trouble, WWE.
So you mean to tell me we had a draft for absolutely nothing? Wherever Roman Reigns goes, that title is going to be exclusive to the other brand. No, it's not, you lying pieces of crap. Do
you know what would be funny, Justin?
What?
If Roman Reigns won the title.
Oh god! if that happens, shut everything down, because nobody's beating Roman Reigns for that damn title.
That would be hilarious, though. And he fingers all the fans afterwards.
But I swear, if nobody from Raw wins this title at Night of Champions, then this whole entire draft is a complete waste of time.
Well, here's what's going to happen, Justin. Raw will win the championship. Only reason SmackDown's part of it is to make it a bigger deal.
Yeah,
but you're making this, but they shouldn't be included in this. It's dumb.
No, they should, because they already have like 2 world titles on SmackDown.
Yeah, so conveniently, it'll work out that Raw wins it, but they shouldn't be included. stuff.
And my prediction, and before you go, Canada Joy and Liam, my prediction to win that title, Seth Rollins.
I mean, it's inevitable. I mean, for me personally, I'd say Seth Rollins as well. I feel like he's probably the most deserving there. What about you, Canada Joy?
I don't know. What about Cody? Since you're not having him on the same brand anymore.
I pitched this out on one of your shows. I still think Cody Rhodes finds a way to win Money in the Bank and goes after Roman Reigns.
I don't know.
If he wins Money in the Bank, he can't go after Roman because that's specific to Raw, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
No,
It used to be. It used to be.
It used to be, yes. Now it's whatever show you want to choose.
So you can win Royal Rumble, or you can win Money in the Bank and crossover.
Pretty much, yes.
Possibly. Noob says everyone has already hated Triple H for this, but at the end of the day, Vince was responsible for the stupid title unification at WrestleMania 38. Discuss, Canada.
Yeah, I'm wanting that unified title of Roman Reigns to become one belt now.
Yeah,
having 3 belts, 3 world titles is silly. You gotta unify it so it's one belt, and just call it the WWE Heavyweight Championship.
the only thing you can take away from the draft thing for me is obviously all these NXT wrestlers who obviously got called up.
Yeah,
that's probably the only good thing you can probably take away from that. Rest of
and that's only good if they get booked well.
Well, if history goes to anything to buy, then probably not. So definitely stay tuned for that one. Next up we've got is now it's sounding like Drew McIntyre might be walking away from WWE. I mean, apparently he's not happy with creative, money. There's so many different things on this. Justin, what do you reckon?
If this is true, then I don't really blame Drew McIntyre for wanting to leave WWE. I mean, Sasha Banks and Naomi weren't happy when they found out that they were competing against each other for a title shot, and they were the tag team champions, and they walked away. And now we got Mercedes and New Japan, and we got Trinity and Impact. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Drew McIntyre under Tony Khan's, payroll by the end of the year.
Possibly. Kind of dry.
Drew Galloway is all elite. I could see him. It's so shame that we can't get him at All In because of his contract and but. Well, wait. When does his contract end?
Let me have a look. 2 seconds. He probably does say somewhere, but there's just so much information to go through. But I imagine it's soon, so it probably will be after All In.
Yeah, I can't see it. Like he won't be able to make All In, but because he doesn't have any time. But if they released him today, it'd be time enough.
Yeah, but what's the odds are obviously in game released, actually today? I mean, it is a possibility, but it's highly unlikely. It's probably one of them things.
Yeah, we won't. The only reason we want him to be released today is so he could actually show up at All In. That would be so
cool. I would say probably All Out or Full Gear we see him.
Full Gear is probably the most likely appearance, or Dynamite before that.
So we've got a little sidebar here as well, obviously. Do you think this is part of the cuts thing, which has obviously got mentioned a while back?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. You're not signing your talent to the money they're worth. You're making them lowballing them. You're like hoping you can get a big star for cheap. Especially when you got all this New Japan, you got AEW. I don't think Impact could pay him quite. They could give him a good amount of money for a short run, but I can't see him getting that much at Impact. AEW's and just because of the schedule is very appealing.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a weird one. Justin, go ahead.
What Canada Dry said is exactly what I was going to say. So yeah, I agree with everything that he said.
Right. I think we'll move on that one, shall we? So we've got 2 more stories left now. Apparently, AEW has changed plans for the roster split. Now, AEW has reported...
Now, this is Dave Meltzer. Let's just put a little
Yeah, so this is always, as we always say, it's Dave Meltzer, so take this with a pinch of salt. Meltzer wrote, the updated plan, and this will be possibly changed a few times, is that there will be less of a hard roster split as previously told to people who know about it. The thought is that the split will not be as hard at all at the women, so Canada Dry, what I'm kind of confused. This, help me out.
Well, I before it was going to be like a hard roster, but I don't think they have the star power, especially in the women's division, to have a hard split with the women. So I think maybe it would be like a few guys that are definitely going to be Collision, a few guys that are going to definitely be Dynamite, and then you'll have some floaters, and the women will definitely be able to go on all the shows.
Mr. Graham said, wasn't it Meltzer who said there would be a roster split? I mean, possibly. I mean, I never really.
Think he was the first announcement.
I never really read what he actually says because sometimes I think he's just full of absolute dog. But
I think he just wants to hear himself speak. I clicked on one earlier today. It's like Kyle O'Reilly's future, and then it's just like it didn't really say anything. I'm like, really? I already knew all that. Like some of these artists, like just there's no information giving you more stuff. It's just black.
There you go, Justin. What are your thoughts?
I really do think that we should have like a hard split, but like Canada Dry said that there might not be enough star power for the women or the men because, first of all, they keep on promoting CM Punk coming back to Chicago for AEW. We don't even know what his role is going to be when he comes back to Dynamite. Is it going to be Dynamite full-time? Is it going to be Collision full-time when they go to Saturdays?
No, CM Punk will be a Collision star.
Okay, then I don't know exactly what they're going to have planned for Collision because it's just hard to tell because we're like a month away from the debut of the show, and we don't even know how. We don't have plans of what's going on, except for CM Punk is going to be the star of Collision. So that's all we know right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, just think about it. They canceled Dark and Dark Elevation because this show is going to be so big because you don't have enough time to produce all this stuff, and you got the acts. WWBD wants all their shows to be on their network.
There you go. So. Again, this is another one where you have to stay tuned. So we're going to end on something which is, it's probably one of the most funniest things I've seen throughout the week, and it involves a certain Markova. Canada Dry, take it away.
All right. So Natalia Markova was supposed to get a title match on NWA Power, but some reason they changed it to a non-title match like halfway through the week. I'm like, what the... Anyways, so she got her title match, and we'll talk about that after. But this is, I'm dubbing it the Natalia Markova song. And the guy singing, his name is Daisy Kills. And he's a former student of Natalia Markova wrestling as a teacher. So play it.
A little Miss Natalia Markova. A real woman, a real beacon of beauty, a real queen of femininity. And you know what? I actually have a little song, a little serenation about how she's going to end that streak of yours. Seems like y'all are the only two who want me to, so for the rest of this trash here, we're going to sing a little song. Camille, I thought you kept it real, but it seems like you're afraid that your 1,000-day title streak is coming to an end today. Your run of fun is come undone, and it's just about to be over by a real bombshell who will give you hell named Natalia Markova. Oh, she can wrestle. She can really hit. She's got a better smile, better hair, and real big eyes. Oh, she's coming. And she's going your butts. You're going to be dismembered and only remembered as Latimer's cheap slut. And let's face it, you're a coward, you know she's better, and you know your time is done. So accept the challenge and do the right thing.
Do you know, watching that back, I'm trying to think now is, why was it made a non-title match?
I don't even know. I think even the crowd was thinking it. Now that I look at it, I think it was only announced for the like for the us viewers at home,
Mm-hmm.
because the crowd probably thought it was a title match. Because even there, they're saying accept the challenge.
But I love that song there, but I'm smiling about it. Justin.
So if you guys haven't watched it, Natalia Markova, she fought like hell, and she had her in the submission move in the middle of the ring. Camille was about to tap, and time ran out. And then they're asking, the crowd was chanting 5 more minutes, and Camille said no, and everyone booed her. And Natalia's like, "Come on, let's fight!" And she just went off, and the show ended that way.
What is it with the women's division in the NWA? Will somebody tell me?
I think the women's division is really good in NWA.
Oh yeah, I mean it's good, but like that. But I'm thinking, why would you make it a non-title match, knowing that?
Well, it all depends on like if Natalia is not going to. They haven't announced it, but I'm assuming if Natalia wins, gets a match at Crockett Cup against Camille.
Mm-hmm.
If she's losing it, you want her to win this match, a non-title match.
Yeah. So has she actually got the title match? Because I haven't followed it up as much as I'd like to.
No, they haven't announced it, but I'm thinking there's a build to the Crockett Cup. Like it's.
Yeah. Well, I hope she does win it, because it's like every time we've said it many times on the show, is her selling is really top notch. Do you know what I mean? She's great in the ring. She did amazing, obviously, in the Kill City Cup, which is obviously another little thing we discussed. But yeah, I mean, the future's bright.
Justin, what do you think about that song? And what do you think about Natalia Markova possibly winning the title?
That song was good, and I definitely agree with Liam and you. She definitely deserves to win the title. I haven't seen any of her matches, so I really don't.
Oh yeah, it's on YouTube. Give it a watch, Justin.
But I definitely agree. If you guys think that she should win it, then I'll definitely agree with you that she definitely deserves to win it.
Oh yeah. So you know what? I'm gonna do a little later. I think I can sing this song.
Really? Okay.
Like I said in the AFW chat, I need to see this for myself.
Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can get that going inside my soul, and then a little later on in the show, I'll try to see if I can do this.
Oh, okay. So stay tuned for that. Canada Dry is gonna sing. So wait.
I think after maybe after Knowledge is Power, we'll bring back Justin to be an audience for it.
Okay, of course. And yeah, that wraps up obviously the Galaxy news. We've got one more thing to do before we obviously head into our main event, and it's of course the Magician's Corner.
Magician's Corner.
The corner, right in the corner. So we've obviously talked about ordering things online. We've had a supposedly weird video, which I'm not going to discuss because some intern got fired for that.
Yes.
So this week, I was thinking about this and I thought, let's have a nice little debate about something. Now, as we know, Canada Dry, wrestlers on Twitter likes to moan. Do you know what I mean? They like to have a good little whinge as they do. But I want to get your thoughts on this in general. I mean, is it a good thing that they complain on Twitter, or is it just mere whatever?
Well, here's my idea on what social media you should be on. Social media, you should be an utter professional.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that your like stuff that you're going on with your contract should ever come out on social media. That should never come out. And everything that you say should be positive. You can't talk to the trolls. Ignore the trolls. Don't say anything, because when you talk to them, you give them power. So to me, you have to be a completely positive person online, because the responsibility is great.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with that totally. Justin? Yeah, absolutely agree. And I will go one up on it and say, like, if you got nothing nice to say on social media, and it doesn't even have to be Twitter, it can be Facebook or whatever social media you're on. If you have nothing else that's good to say, just don't say it at all, and just scroll. Keep scrolling and don't say anything.
Justin, did you just quote Bambi?
I don't know. I don't even know if I did.
Yeah, that's Bambi, man. He's quoting Bambi.
There you go. So I've got a little follow-up to that is now, obviously, if they're obviously complaining a lot on Twitter, do you lose respect for wrestlers? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I understand it partially, right? Because they're human. If they're constantly whining about where they are on the card and stuff like that,
Yep.
that's what my beef is about. Like, I can see people giving in to trolls once in a while because it happens. You lose a little bit of strength, and you're like, "Oh, you stupid!" Like, that's fine. It happens. But when you're bitching about your spot on the card and how Tony Khan or Vince McMahon or Triple H or whoever, Scott D'Amore, doesn't use you properly, that's where you're just being told unprofessional.
Yeah, Justin.
I agree. The only person that I can see getting a pass for this is MJF, because he likes to play a dick anyways.
Well, yeah, because he keeps it kayfabe, so you don't know. That's the thing. If you're keeping it kayfabe all the time, you don't know if it's real or. That's the thing. That's a good point there, Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll finish off with one final thing on this. Is kind of dry to summarize it up. Basically, being a dick on Twitter. Go ahead.
Be positive. Keep your business with the company. Don't air your dirty laundry. And just be a shining beacon. A beacon of beauty.
There you go.
Wow,
Justin.
the holy mask fell.
Justin.
Yeah. The main thing is just to be positive. If you want to be negative all the time, fine. Be negative all the time, but don't be negative on social media, because everyone that you follow on social media can see it and report you right away. So don't be negative on social media. Just be positive, and I think that's what the world needs right now, is more positivity instead of negativity.
There you go.
Eat your vegetables and drink your milk.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
what he said.
There you go. So that wraps up this week's Magician's Corner. And yeah, there's nothing more for me for our main event. So, Justin, are you going to stick around?
Yeah, I'm sticking around.
All right, we'll see you back. We'll see you later.
Laters. Boop. Right then. So before we get into obviously our main event, we're going to say thank you to a sponsor. Do you know what I mean? We've got a new sponsor, right?
Yes, Dubby Energy. Now, if you use code Effin Wrestling, you're going to get 10% off. Head to www.dubby.gg, and they come in the chew version, and they come in the drink version. You mix it up. They got lots of flavors. Know what I love about Dubby?
What's that?
Is they're not full of all that sugar, all those dyes. It's one of those things where you can just know what you're getting, because it says all the ingredients on it. So pick up some Dubby, get yourself energized for when you're doing your gaming. I'm getting a PS5, so I'm going to need some Dubby to go along with that for my long gaming sessions.
And this is also global as well, if I remember rightly.
Yes, you can pick up Dubby. If you're in the UK, you can pick it up in Canada. You can pick it up in Europe, wherever you are. You can buy Dubby and use that code Effin Wrestling on the purchase, and you'll get 10% off.
And that's at www.dubby.gg.
Dubby!
Right then, shall we get into the main event? Or as we always call it, kind of dry, story time. What is it with them laughs? They're really weird.
There's a storm of brewing. So yeah, this story with is entitled Sam the Sandown Clown, and oh my goodness, is this guy creepy?
We've got a picture as well.
All right, let's show it. I'm going to get you to show it a little later too. So just keep that image up for another 5 seconds. There we go. All right. So we'll bring that up when I'm describing him again, so everyone can see what he looks like. So this story takes place in England in 1973. It's in May at 4 p.m. Now, the British UFO Research Association published this story, and this is it's quite documented, and so it starts out around 4 p.m. on the Isle of Wight. Now, do you know where this Isle of Wight is?
Yeah, it's not too far from obviously where I am, so it is a well-known area.
All right. So a boy and a girl around 7 years of age are playing near Lake Common in the town of Sandown. Now, what they were doing, we don't know. They were hanging out doing kid things, right? Might be on the swing set, might be doing whatever. But all of a sudden, a siren goes off. It's a wailing sound. And what's interesting about this is they took off trying to find out where the siren is coming from. And they went right through a golf course and into this marsh, sort of marshy meadow. And when they got to the meadow, the siren stopped.
Okay.
But they were still curious where this sound was coming from. They're also right next to the Sandown Airport. That's a beat down old airport. It's not really anything special, but it's an airport nonetheless. So they were thinking possibly it could be coming from the airport. But you know what kids are. They're like, they have nothing else to do. So they think they're going on an adventure trying to find out where this is coming from.
Typical kid stuff.
Yes. So they're going along the pathway and they come across this wooden footbridge. And this is where it gets weird. They see this blue gloved hand with only 3 fingers holding on to the railing. And it has a book with it, a writing book. And it's kind of fumbling with it and kind of acting all weird, like, like just kind of clowny. Almost cartoony, like. And they see the thing, finally get the book out of the water, and it doesn't really pay attention to them. They're blown away with what they're seeing. And the thing goes back into what looks like a beaten down old UFO, like a jalopy form of a UFO. It almost looks like a hut, but it's a metal sort of thing. And when he gets in, the thing starts like acting like a cartoon spaceship, where it's kind of hopping around like an old jalopy spaceship.
Yep.
And they just can't believe what they're seeing. And they're like, okay, let's get the hell out of here. And they start heading back to where they came from. All of a sudden, the siren goes off again. And this time the boy, he's like, I can't stand this. This is too loud. He starts running. And all of a sudden they see this creature. And he's got a microphone. And he goes, hello, are you still there?
Ooh.
And then, so the kids, they're like, what the heck? And it feels like they're hearing it right beside them, like right as if, like I just said to you, right? So they begin to approach this creature. And so they wanted to, they noticed that the voice was very friendly. And so they came closer to this creature, and he was 7 feet tall. You can put up that picture again. He had no neck. He had wooden horns, triangle eyes, square nose, and just these little rosy little things, cheeks or whatever.
Oh, have we glitched? I think Canada Dry's frozen. Oh no. We do apologise for the slight technical issue here. Canada Dry seems to have frozen. We will try and see if we can get this fixed. He's definitely froze. What's going on? Ah, dear. Boop. So anyway, as Canada Dry mentioned there, this is obviously the pretty much the clown. What can we say? Oops, I'm on my own here. We will try and get him back on, obviously, on the show. It seems to have. What the bloody hell?
I don't
there?
know. It just went blank on me. I thought I don't know what the hell happened there as I'm describing this creature. The phone goes all wacko on me.
So anyway, obviously he was describing.
It went all staticky.
Did it really?
Yeah, it's like that was strange.
Ouch. So anyways, you was obviously basically introducing what it looked like. There you go.
All right. So what was the last thing I said?
That he was 7 feet tall, no neck, cheeks.
So yeah, he had wooden horns coming out of his head. So you can take that down. So at first, he begins communicating with them through his book. And he would write jumbled up words together. And the girl that we're calling her Faye, she had to kind of unjumble them. And she unjumbled the words to read out, "Hello, I am all colors Sam." So that's what he wanted to be known at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So the Sam character began asking them questions, but his lips didn't move. So it would just be like almost like something coming out, like kind of like when the enlightened one's lips don't move. They began to ask him questions and feeling comfortable asking him questions. And so the first question they asked him was, "Are you human?" And so he answers back, "No." And
can you imagine that? Just going, "Are you human?" It's just like, no. It's like that.
Yeah. And so the next question is even creepier. "Are you a ghost?" And he answers back, "Well, not really, but I am in an odd sort of way."
Give me shivers, this one.
Yeah. And then they ask, "Well, what are you then?" And the creature goes, "You know."
Literally like, yeah, you know.
Yeah. And so, and then he goes, even though he just told them in the jumble of paper, he said, he contradicts himself and says, "I have no name." Other creatures were also appearing. And they were there as well. They didn't really give too much detail on them, but he said that we're all afraid of the humans and that people would try to hurt us. And if we were attacked, we wouldn't fight back. So it kind of made the children feel safe with those comments. And he invited the two kids back into the spaceship. And they had to crawl through this weird flap. And when they got in, it looked like a old fairy tale cottage inside with wooden tables and wallpaper, and just it looked very like what you would imagine in a fairy tale would look like inside the house. But then when they went upstairs, it was all metallic and very spaceship-like upstairs. But he would tell them that when he has to clean the water in order to drink it. And the other thing that he did, what was really, really strange, is he put a berry in his ear. The berry that then would roll to the eye, and then he'd shake, and the berry would appear in his mouth before he sucked it in.
That is just weird.
Yeah, it's very, very strange. So the kids that he took off his hat, and he had kind of brown hair with kind of like elf sort of ears, and he's just very strange looking as we look from the other pictures. But they were there for a half an hour before they said, "Well, we're going to leave," and they said goodbye, and they went out and told everyone who would listen that they saw a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And so that concludes my portion of the story.
Thank you very much. Are you going to make the tag?
Make the tag.
Make the tag. So, obviously, after this altercation, the kids decide to tell their father. Now, he was always known as Mr. Y, or as Mr. Y, is that right? Mr. Y? Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, they told, the dad about this whole experience, but it turns out there was a bit more backstory than we actually imagined. Because it turns out that Mr. Y himself has been actually experiencing some strange anomalies as well. So we're going to head to October 1970. Now he's driving down a long stretch of road, and he looked up, and then he saw what was known as a large multi-fit aircraft, like in the sky.
Yep.
Now it was moving around with what was like sounds and many, many lights. And it was described as using erratic movement. So it wasn't like just going in one place. It was like all over the place. So the initial reaction from Mr. Y was he pulled up, he got out, and he tried to obviously look. But within 10 minutes after that, he got back in his car and continued on his journey. Just a typical, I think it's one of these where he tried to, ignore it. Now, what made this actually worse was that Mr. Y's friends had experienced the exact same thing. So they actually witnessed the exact same spacecraft thing moving erratically with like red lights and stuff like that. Now, week after, again, he was going down the same stretch of road, just minding his own business. And he noted that as he was looking behind him, single ball of red lights were following him, just actual orbs on their own. That's just weird. And then sometimes they would move, sometimes they wouldn't. It's like he was being followed or monitored. What do you reckon? Just that little bit there.
Oh, that's creepy as hell. It's interesting that the father and the daughter are kind of getting the same sort of.
Yeah. Now, as weeks progressed, the experiences got a little bit more creepier. Now, we're going to head to the 1st of March, 1972. An unexpected tidal surge nearly drove his car off the edge of a cliff.
Wow.
Now, he described seeing a quote-unquote underwater craft. So he felt like there was an underwater craft that actually caused this tidal surge and stuff like that. Now, as he got out the car, he noticed what was described as peering eyes looking up at him like it was a sea monster. That was his exact words was. So can you just imagine that? You've just nearly got like drowned.
This story just keeps on getting stranger.
Yeah. Now, again, he did the exact same thing. He went home and he tried to forget about it. I felt like it was one of these where he thought his mind was playing tricks on him. Now, for after that, he didn't report anything. Do you know what I mean? So there's no reports after this if he witnessed anything or anything like that. But it wasn't until obviously the experiences with his daughter that he actually started to obviously more experiences. But do you understand what I mean by aliases?
Yeah, like that Faye isn't her real name. That's her alias as well.
Mm-hmm.
They both been given aliases, and we only know the boy as her friend.
Yes. So that's. I feel like it's more protect the identity of obviously these people because it is obviously a serious case. Now,
The father, he connected that they were thinking it was a ghost, but he knew it was an alien or something else right away.
yeah. So now the key number here is power of 7. Now, apparently, this is obviously some little quote thing. Now, these kids are obviously 7 years old. Apparently, like aliens take a. I don't want to say interest, but that's probably the correct word I can only think of. To like be magically influenced. So people were thinking, is it fairies type thing? Because do you remember, like you said, that he invited him into the like spacecraft? Well,
Yep.
apparently that also comes from fairies as well. So there's a theory that this is obviously fairies as well. I mean, creepy.
Fairies, yeah, that's interesting that they're going that way. Um, what do you think? Do you think it could be fairies?
I mean, I'll read obviously what we said with the school reports, and then we'll obviously get into the debunking.
Yeah.
Now, there was obviously some school reports, obviously. Now, Jeremy Passymore apparently saw a person in a silverish green suit. Now, if you look at this image right here, a greenish suit, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people start saying this is similar to quote unquote Sam the Clown. Now, also during this time, this was obviously in February 4th, 1977, so it wasn't too long after. But also apparently 14 children, so we're not talking one, we're not talking two, we're talking a big group of them, said that they obviously saw a spacecraft which had a disc at the bottom, like a round type sphere type thing. Apparently, it stayed on the ground for 20 minutes before literally going up and vanishing. Now,
The other thing I want to point out about that is just like the hopping thing, that it awkwardly crashed into a tree before flying away.
mm-hmm.
So it's definitely the same guy or creatures.
Yeah, that's exactly what people obviously said. Now they're saying it's similar to obviously Sam the Clown. Yeah, I mean, there's so many theories on this. I mean, the biggest one was Mr. Y abducted? That's because it's become so frightened that he's not obviously, telling people what's going on.
Well, kind of go back to what his communication with the children.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, they go, "Are you a ghost?" And he says, "Not exactly, but yes, in an odd sort of way." Well, what's like a ghost but a demon?
Well, that's the funny thing, though, because the third one I've got down here is demon in disguise. Is that a possibility? Do you know, trying to like trick people? I mean, we know obviously what demons are like. We know obviously how possessive they can be, like manipulative.
Yeah, like if they just want to make your whole life, like that guy couldn't forget about his moments with, and it just like he went after the daughter as well. So I'm like, this is definitely something trying to pose as something good when it's just purely evil.
Yeah, the other thing I don't know if you mentioned it in your story, was there was two builders working on obviously like a little building thing. Now, apparently they wasn't aware of obviously Sam's presence.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, is that they didn't see it like they saw it.
So this meant the theory of like an alien can obviously like choose who obviously sees them.
An alien or a demon.
Or a demon, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing was the fairies thing, which is obviously I mentioned. So we've got demon in disguise. The problem is with this story is every single one of them three things is plausible.
I think the fairy one is least likely.
Yeah, that was obviously what I said. I think that's the least likely. I'm leaning more towards the alien one. I don't think it's demon in disguise, but why would he take great interest in kids?
Well, I think the other thing about demons are they cannot create.
No, that's true.
They can only take creation and change it, and like all the things that he's using are stuff we made.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting that they're taking the form of stuff like he almost, you know what he almost looks like?
What's that?
Those look like Jack in the Box. You know the hamburger place.
Yep.
He looks a lot like Jack in the Box.
But yeah, I mean,
Big head.
this is the thing. I mean, when you look at them three possibilities, I cannot decide which one it is because I feel like every single one is plausible. You could literally.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the biggest mysteries we've ever covered.
Yeah, like this is the weirdest. To me, this is one of the weirdest stories, and we covered the talking. What was it? The talking ferret.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Have you got any final thoughts on this one? Anything to add?
I don't know. I think this is time for knowledge is power.
Of course. So, anyway, let's get into our favorite part of the show, as we call knowledge is power. How do we get knowledge is power on that one?
I'm still shocked that I had static on my screen, and I had to plug it in. The Apple symbol came up, and it wasn't even off, and the power wasn't even low.
Maybe maybe it's Sam. Maybe it's Sam the Clown.
Maybe Sam the Clown's messing with my phone. But kids, if you hear a siren and you're in the woods in the meadow, do not look for that siren. Run home. That's all I'm going to say. Run home.
I've got a simpler one for that one because I've just thought of it. Kids, right? Come closer, come closer. Whatever you do not talk to strangers, especially if they've got 3 fingers.
And look like this. Show them the picture.
And
they look like this. Yeah, run. Just run.
And that is knowledge is power. Right then, should we see what Justin thought?
Let's bring Justin back. Justin, what did you think? He's laughing at this scary, scary story.
Oh man. The fact that Liam said, like, kids come closer, don't talk to strangers with 3 fingers, like, okay, yep.
I'm not lying though, am I?
No, you're not. Here's another thing. Don't talk to strangers with no head. That's another thing.
Yeah, that's true. All right, are you ready for the Markova song?
Oh, for 57 minutes, I've been waiting to hear this.
I've been waiting for the Natalia Markova song. I'm going to try and sing it how Daisy Kill sang it. So here we go. Me. All right, here we go. Camille, I thought you kept it real, but it seems like you're afraid. Your 1,000-day tidal reign is coming to an end today. Your run of fun has come undone, and it's just about to be over by a real bombshell who will give you hell, named Natalia Markova. Oh, she can wrestle. Oh, she can really hit. She's got a better hair and a better smile and real big eyes. Oh, she's coming. And she's got a great butt. You're going to be dismembered and only remembered as Latimer's cheap slut.
We need a applause thing.
Yes, we need a little applause. We'll have that for maybe next episode.
Mr. Graham says, guys, enjoy Rampage. So obviously that's coming up shortly. So I think we'll get all the outros done and stuff so everybody can go and watch Rampage. So as we always said, don't forget you can head to effingwrestling.com. You can find all our social medias on there. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube. Canada's right. We're always everywhere, right?
We're everywhere. And you can find them all the links in the description right below.
Of course. And if you want a t-shirt, we've got plenty of t-shirts. You can head to prowrestlingtees.com/effingwrestling. You can buy yourself the All Effing Wrestling shirt modeled by Markova, funnily enough.
The blonde bombshell who will give you hell.
And Canada's right. Tell everybody about old school wrestling. Adrian
and if you like old school wrestling, head on over to Pro Wrestling Tees /Adrian Adonis because he's got a Dark Side of the Ring episode coming up. We're excited for that.
Of course. And what we got on the show Sunday?
And on the show Sunday, Well, let's have a Saturday. You got tomorrow. You're going to do what?
We're doing the Backlash pre-show, so we're going to be taking a little look what's going on Backlash.
Yeah, so that's going to be the pre-show, and we're going to find out what you guys think and your predictions and that. But Sunday, we're giving away a championship belt to two of our contestants. And maybe if I win, we won't give it out because I don't want to spend money, okay? So it's going to be a trivia game show for our main event on the All Left in Wrestling show. And we're going to give away a replica championship belt of their choosing. So make sure you tune in.
Of course. Justin, have we had a good time?
I think that was a thumbs up, not a middle finger.
Yeah, a very good time. And sorry for giving a thumbs up. I had like a phone call, so that gladly I didn't do this on air. So,
any final words from Canada Drive before we head off?
Remember to just keep fighting. It's on you guys. Woo!
Ooh, this is the part where I get to ask you a question. You all right?
Oh, that thing has scared the shit out of me.
I've got a question for you, by the way.
Okay.
Does pineapple belong on a pizza?
Yes, of course. You know what doesn't belong on pizza?
What's that?
Ass. I don't like ass pizza. It's disgusting.
Really? Why not?
It's ass. No one likes ass.